For most aviation fans, while the opulence and extravagance of private jets is something lavish dreams are made of, there's an almost visceral feeling that fighter jets elicit from us. The speed and raw tenacity that these beasts of the sky have while in action is something to behold. Fighter jets depend on speed for survival. If your craft doesn't move as fast as the enemy's, there can be grave consequences. In light of such a basic understanding, jet engineers are continually trying to outdo each other to release the fastest fighter plane possible. The following is a list of the top 10 fastest fighter jets in the world. 13. Dassault Mirage 2000. Top speed 1,453 miles per hour. Max range 960 miles. The Mirage 2000 is also a multi-role fighter jet that is made in France by Dassault. As other countries battled for air supremacy, France realized that it also needed a super plane to even the playing field. This is what led to the creation of the Mirage 2000N and 2000D. Initially, they meant for the Mirage 2000N to be a fast attack nuclear weapon while the Mirage 2000D interdicted and engaged enemies in the air. However, when the Mirage 2000 finally hit the air in the early 80s, they realized that it was better equipped for fast attacks characterized by dropping precision ordnance from long distances. The Mirage was able to approach Mach 2 speed while loaded with guided bombs and missiles. 12. McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom II. Top speed 1,472 miles per hour. Max range 1,677 miles. The McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom II is truly the stuff of legend. From its battles in Vietnam to modern-day warfare, the F4 has proven itself to be a worthy adversary. Designed in the early 60s, the F4 quickly wrecked all airspeed records that were at that moment. Not only was it efficient at outrunning enemy jets, but also at outfighting them as well. This two-seat, two-engine fighter jet was able to survive multiple generations of superjets, with the last one retiring in 2013. Due to its efficiency, it became the go-to jet for the US Army when it needed to show its enemies a devastating show of force at the front lines. 11. Sukhoi Su35 Flanker E. Top speed 1,500 miles per hour. Max range 2,200 miles. The Sukhoi Su35 Flanker E is improved development of the Su27. Originally it was known as the Su27M. After the Soviet Union collapsed, the Soviets were looking for ways to export their technological advancements to the world. They decided to rebrand the aircraft as Su-35. The Su-35 made its first flight in June of 1988. The original version was produced from 1987 to 1995. While awaiting the development of the Su-57, Sukhoi decided to develop an interim aircraft which would be a modernized version of the Su-27M. This aircraft would be known as the Su-35S and is produced from 2007 to this day. The type has proved a popular option for Russia, as well as China and Indonesia, who have also placed orders. The refurbished Su-35 has a redesigned cockpit, better weapon systems, and sports thrust vectoring jet engines. 10. Lockheed Martin F22 Raptor. Top speed 1,500 miles per hour. Max range 1,800 miles. The F-22 is a favorite of many aerospace enthusiasts, and for good reason. The development of the F-22 brought about many technological advancements in terms of stealth, aerodynamic performance, and avionics systems. The F-22 was primarily designed to be an air superiority fighter, but being the versatile aircraft that it is, can also be used as ground attack, electronic warfare, and intelligence gathering capabilities. Many people would consider the F-22 as the flagship fighter jet of the United States Air Force. The USAF had originally intended to buy a total of 750 units. However, that plan was revised in 2009 due to a number of reasons, most importantly due to lagging developments of Russian and Chinese counterparts. Another reason for the halted production was the focus on the newly developed F-35 and the ban on exports of this aircraft. 9. Convair F106. Top speed 1,526 miles per hour. Max flight distance 2,346 miles. The F106 is among the rare breed of first-generation fighter jets. Despite its legendary status, the F106 would be the last fighter jet to prioritize speed over visibility in air-to-air combat. In fact, this is what led to the development of the F4 Phantom. The Phantom has better radar technology and could carry more weapons. However, when it came to raw speed and maneuverability, the F106 was superior. Nonetheless, this superjet only tasted service briefly and never saw combat officially. It was mostly used to test the limits for what a fighter-bomber in the 50s was truly capable of. 8. Grumman F14 Tomcat. Top speed 1,544 miles per hour. Max range 1,800 miles. The Grumman F-14 was developed building on knowledge gained during the Vietnam War, where American fighters combated against MiG fighters. The F-14 first entered service in 1974 with the US Navy, replacing the F-4 Phantom. The F-14 proved to be a versatile fighter jet and served in multiple roles, first and foremost as air superiority fighter and interceptor. The aircraft served the US Navy for 32 years, from 1974 to 2006, and that alone is a testament to the success of this craft. The model is still in service with other countries' air forces, notably the Iranian Air Force. In 2015, Iranian F-14s were reportedly flying escort for Russian bombers on airstrikes in Syria. Iran is the last nation to keep F-14s in service, having updated them with their own domestic avionics that would keep them in service until 2030. 7. Eurofighter Typhoon. Top speed 1,550 miles per hour. Max range 1,800 miles. The Eurofighter Typhoon is a multi-role jet fighter developed in a multinational collaboration of the UK, Germany, Spain, and Italy. The Typhoon made its first flight on 27 March 1994. The Typhoon entered service in 2003 and is now in service by many nations across the world, particularly European and Gulf countries. There is a total of around 600 units built. The Typhoon was designed to be an incredibly effective fighter in air-to-air combat missions. The Typhoon takes care of aerial reconnaissance, ground strike missions, and other air defense duties. 6. Sukhoi Su27 Flanker. Top speed 1,600 miles per hour. Max range 2,190 miles. The Su-27 is a Russian fighter jet designed by Sukhoi. It was designed to counter the American-made F-14 Tomcat and F-15 Eagle. It is intended for air superiority missions and proved to be a versatile fighter jet. The Su-27 entered service in the former Soviet Union Air Force in 1985. The main purpose was to defend the borders of the Soviet Union against American B-52 and B-1B bombers, as well as escorting Soviet Air Force bombers. The Su-30, Su-33, Su-34, Su-35 are all derivatives of the Su-27 design. The Chinese Shenyang J10 is a license-built version of the Su-27. The craft is produced from 1982 to this day and is in service primarily with the Russian Air Force, Chinese PLA Army Air Force, and the Uzbekistan Air and Defense Force, among others. 5. McDonnell Douglas F15 Eagle. Top speed 1,650 miles per hour. Max range 3,500 miles. The F-15 is produced starting in 1972 and is still produced today. The F-15 Eagle is one of the most successful fighter jets ever built. It has over 100 victories and no losses to its name, mostly accomplished by the Israeli Air Force. The F-15 is developed and made in America but has been exported to Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Japan. The F-15 was originally designed purely as an air superiority fighter, but the design proved versatile enough to be developed into a strike fighter in the form of the F-15 Strike Eagle. The F-15 Eagle surely deserves a place on the list of fastest fighter jets in the world, as it has a recorded top speed of 1,650 miles per hour at altitude. 4. General Dynamics F111 Aardvark. Top speed 1,650 miles per hour. Max range 3,690 miles. Aardvark means earth pig in Afrikaans, and that's what the aircraft is often called in the US military. The F111 is no pig when it comes to performance though, and can reach max speeds of 1,650 miles per hour. One of the most characterizing features of the F111 Aardvark is the variable sweep wings. Variable wings offer higher speed and maneuverability with heavy payloads while still retaining the ability to take off and land on shorter runways. The F111 was introduced in 1967 and remained in active service until 1998 in the US Air Force. The Aardvark was operated mainly by the US Air Force and the Royal Australian Air Force. The latter finally retired the aircraft in 2010. 3. Chengdu J10. Top speed 1,687 miles per hour. Max range 2,000 miles. The Chengdu J10 is a Chinese multi-role fighter jet that NATO fondly refers to as the Firebird. The Firebird is China's fastest combat aircraft and thus is a prominent figure in the People's Liberation Army Air Force. It is designed and manufactured by the Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, CAC. The People's Liberation Army Air Force introduced the J-10 into service in 2003 after its initial test flight in 1998. In the beginning, the CAC meant for the J-10 to be a specialized fighter. However, after the initial tests and design changes, the J-10 was converted into a multi-role aircraft. Even though there were only 350 J-10s built, the Chengdu J10 remains China's fastest and most popular jet fighter. 2. The Sukhoi MiG25 Foxbat. Top speed 1,900 miles per hour. Max range 1,160 miles. As NATO's F4 Phantom II was flexing its wings as the most dangerous aerial combatant in the world, the Soviet Union was in the lab cooking up a worthy adversary for the Phantom, the MiG25 Foxbat. As you can imagine, the Foxbat was designed for extreme speed and super maneuverability. When the MiG-25 hit the skies in 1964, you could have picked NATO's jaws off the floor. The F4 was undoubtedly the king of the heavens at that time, but it had met its match. The two fighter jets went toe-to-toe over northern Vietnam, with none coming off as superior to the other. The MiG-25 is a true engineering marvel considering its exemplary performance coupled with affordability. To this day, the MiG-25s are still in service even though most of them have been upgraded into the MiG-31. 1. Sukhoi MiG-31 Foxhound. Top speed 1,900 miles per hour. Max range 1,900 miles. The MiG-31 had everyone in utter shock back in 1977 when it reached an all-new altitude record of 123,530 feet. It also simultaneously set a new record for the most height reached in the least time at 115,000 feet in just 4:11.78 minutes. Such stellar records led to the Soviet Union to adopt the Sukhoi MiG-31 as its premier jet fighter at the time. Additionally, it was also the first among the generation of jets that were able to use radar to detect and intercept stealth fighters. Consequently, the development of the MiG-31 marked the first strike in the new wave of air superiority contests between NATO and the Soviet Union. This aircraft could get to altitude in record time, stay in the air for lengthy periods, lock onto both conventional and stealth crafts, and unleash long-range, radar-guided missiles. Those attributes are still effective even in today's air contests. The Russian MiG-31 is expected to remain in service until 2030. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give us a like and smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on real modern military content like this.